Another day, another woman supposedly cast as the 14th Doctor. Remember in the last video I told you that you're going to get a lot of this over the next couple of weeks and months. And now the next woman to be thrown into the mix is Jodie Comer. Yes, apparently according to the Express newspaper, Doctor Who boss is set to cast Killing Eve star Jodie Comer as the next Time Lord. Now, if anybody has seen Killing Eve, you will know that she's actually a decent actress. But she's about to star in a movie, or the movie has already been done, but she's about to be, the movie is about to be released with herself and Ryan Reynolds. So I'm just going to say this. This article is actually published by another woman, believe it or not. Jesus. Right, but anyway, she's in a movie called Free Guy, and the movie is about to be released soon. So her star is if this movie is a success, her star is going to be on the rise. Can I see someone like Jodie Comer actually getting the job? Well, if she wasn't in Free Guy, she was still doing she was still just doing her Killing Eve. Well, then I would say there would be some chance of her getting it, but I don't see this happening. But I'll read. I bet you this is another clickbait. I haven't actually read this one, so I'm looking at this fresh as we go now. I will put the article in the link description. You can go and read these yourselves as well. As you know, I won't be reading the whole article. I'll just read some of the main points. So here we go. So it says Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker. Yes, she's gone. Blah blah blah. But another Jodie could be set to take her place? Question mark. So Whovians are patiently waiting to find out who will be filling her shoes, and according to one bookmaker, another Jodie could be set to take her place. Now, bookmakers can be a good indicator, but it's only one bookmaker. So again, they're based in an article off a bookmaker. Do you see the stupidity that we're getting here? The BBC recently confirmed Jodie will be leaving her role in Doctor Who, which was celebrated by loads of fans. Jodie famously became the first woman to play the Time Lord when she made her debut in 2017's Christmas special. However, now she's set to bow out in autumn 2022, along with showrunner Chris Chibnall. Before leaving the show, Jodie will star in a 6-part series later this year, along with 3 special episodes, as we do know. And we don't want to read about their statement. See, again, the very first paragraph starts off about Jodie Comer, right? And then the whole article goes on about how Jodie Whittaker is leaving, and our statement and our words about Chris Chibnall. Right, so we'll skip all of that rubbish, right? So basically, the BBC hasn't confirmed who will be replacing Jodie in the sci-fi hit show, but it hasn't stopped fans speculating. Jodie Comer could be about to replace the actress as Doctor Who, according to the latest odds from Ladbrokes. However, Jodie Comer isn't the only star potentially in the running for the BBC sci-fi role. According to Ladbrokes, Ollie Alexander, who's already ruled himself out, by the way, Michaela Cole is actually doing something. She's only recently announced that she's going to be doing something. So she's out of the running, right? Then we got Chris Marshall yet again, right? So again, this is another clickbait article. But again, you know, there's an agenda here. Another woman being mentioned to be taken over from Jodie Whittaker, right? As I told you already in a Radio Times poll, right? Michael Sheen may have won the poll, but what was very interesting about that is that the poll was mixed bag. So I had potential women that could take over the role and potential men that could take over the role. And every single man in that poll did better than every single woman, except for the exception was Jo Martin. Jo Martin was the only woman out of all the other women that even came close to Michael Sheen. But it's very interesting that a lot of the men that were in this poll were polling very well, and then Radio Times pulled the plug on it. Listen, you can try and control the narrative all you want. I think, as I said in my last video, the British public, right? The British public, it's not just necessarily the fans, but the British public, you know, I think have had enough of this. And, you know, the bottom line is that you've already got fans on the ropes, right? British public have already walked away, right? We've seen that with the ratings, right? If you want that fall to continue, well, then ignore the British public. I think the British public have made it clear which direction and who they'd like to see cast as the Doctor. Now, it mightn't be necessarily Michael Sheen, but they've made it clear that they believe that the next Doctor should be a man, right? And I have to say, I'm actually thinking like that as well. For the simple reason is we've had how many years? This has been dragged out over 5 years, hasn't it? Yeah, this has been dragged out. Well, will be 5 years, right? So this would have been dragged out over 5 years. If you think about it logically, if they went and they cast a man, it'd be like reinvigorating the show again. And maybe, and I'll just throw this out there, I was saying it to Cheryl off air, maybe the smart thing for BBC to do would be to rotate it. Now, I'm not saying I personally agree with that, but maybe that is a way of trying to, you know, reinvigorate the show every few years. Give each Doctor. Now, I would say, now, you know, I think the next Doctor should be on a good solid run, maybe 3-4 seasons of non-stop, continuous, year after year, not the 18-month breaks that we've been getting with Chris Chibnall. But something, you know, again, while we can be thankful that Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are gone, this is a very crucial time now, not just for BBC, but for the fans. If they make the wrong choice, the show's dead in the water. And I know there are a lot of fans out there, as I already said in my last video, that already think that. But I think this show can resurrect itself. It has a knack of surviving. It wouldn't have gone over 50 years or been a phenomenon for over 50 years if the show, you know, didn't have this knack of surviving. But it has. And again, articles like that from the Express are just clickbait. But again, they're trying to control the narrative, right? I said this to you after Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall were officially gone. I said it to you. Over the next few weeks and months, these people are going to try and control the narrative, right? We've already got Martin Bellham from the other paper, what is it, The Guardian, right? Him coming out and giving his reasons why another female doctor, and he gave his choice. As I said, all of these journalists are singing from the same hymn sheet, right? So, you know, there's as I said, we've got to have our voices. We've got to start speaking up, you know, and I truly believe we do. As I said, I think we have a chance to have our voices heard. But right now, all I'm saying is all of these articles being done. And as I said, they're going to try and control the narrative. And they've been doing it for these last few years. They've been telling all these fans that Doctor Who is great, you know, right? But as soon as Jodie left, what happened? Some of those newspapers were coming out and slamming the era. Now, these very same people now are going and doing these articles and saying, oh, Jodie Comer should be the next Doctor. you know, or God knows who, Michaela Cole should be the doctor, or something like that. You know, they're controlling the narrative. And I told you this was going to happen, right? And again, you know, when I see the reaction from the other side, you know, their only motivation of having another woman as the doctor is to annoy long-term fans of the show. I've already seen several tweets from several high-profile people within the fandom hoping that the next showrunner is a woman, the next doctor is a woman, because I quote, it will upset the not my doctors, right? That's all they care about. They don't care about the show, right? Their true selves are being shown right now, right? All of those people that claim to be fans of the show, look at their accounts, right? They do nothing but criticize New Who. They do nothing but say that Classic Who is problematic, right? And these are the very same people now that are saying, oh, let's bring in a female showrunner, let's bring in a female doctor because it looks at all the long-term fans, or as they call them, not my doctors. And again, I don't know how many times I have to tell the morons, there's no such thing as not my doctors, right? There's about a handful of them left, right? It was a hashtag that was used at the very start when this era started up, right? Me and a few others were using that hashtag and we were promoting that hashtag. Unfortunately, a radical side of the fandom latched onto it and we stopped using that hashtag, right? We stopped using it, right? So again, get that through as a thick skulls. We are not my doctors, right? There's no such thing. We are not fans of this era and never have been fans of this era, right? The acting has been ridiculous from Jodie Whittaker. The writing has been absolutely abysmal by Chris Chibnall. And the character development, there's even an argument on Twitter where I'm seeing people arguing how great Yasmin Khan's character development is. You must be living on some sort of cloud. Her character development is non-existent. And by the way, if she is that mentally disturbed as you are all claiming, right, then she would never have got a job as a police officer, right? So you don't even know what you are talking about. You are talking out these are backsides like you have been talking out these are backsides ever since this era began, right? And now the media, as I said, they're coming out with all these stupid choices, right? And they're trying to push this narrative. That's why I ask people, and I'll keep continuing to say, get behind that hashtag Shane for 14. And as I said, you know, some of you will have the old email address from the last time when you sent complaints to the BBC over the Graham O'Brien debacle. If you still have that email address, that's the email address I advise you to use to send the BBC. Now, set a polite email, folks, right? We don't want any nastiness, right? You just go and you tell them your feelings about the show over the last few years, who you'd like to see in the role, what, you know, and seriously, you will have to give examples, right, of why you think the show has failed, because this is the only way they're going to listen. But we have to get that hashtag going. And people, whether you like me or not, right, you need to put your personal feelings aside. And we all need to join together one common goal. And that goal is to get hashtag Shane for 14 trending. And the reason why we're not saying, as I've always said from day one, I'm not saying that Michael Sheen will get the job, right? There's no guarantees here. But at least BBC know, right, what he represents, as I said, what we'd like the doctor to be. And remember, as I said, all of these shill newspapers, by the way, you know, that do all of these articles, and anytime Jodie was trending or the fans on her side got her trending, all of these articles covered it to kind of reinforce how great, reinforce the lie, right, how great this era was, right? So we got to do the same, because do you know what? They'd be hypocrites if they didn't pick up on this Shane for 14 thing and report on it. That's the whole point. We're trying to get them to pick up on it and report on it, because, you know, they won't be able to ignore that. If that was trending on Twitter, right, big time, they can't ignore it. The Cybermen were trending on Twitter the other day, and they start speaking about it. Everybody starts speaking about it. So that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to get a conversation going, right? Because if people on the other side see Sheen for 14, it'll open up a big debate then, it will, right? And then maybe then the newspapers then will start report. I highly doubt it anyway, because they all seem to be shilling one way anyway. But you never know. There might be a few newspapers out there, a few media outlets that will probably say, oh, hang on for a minute. Maybe we should check more into this Sheen for 40, hashtag Sheen for 14. Let's see what it's all about. But as I said, again, tomorrow there'll be another name rolled off the conveyor belt. This time it's Jodie Comer. As I said, there you go, a week ago, Ollie Alexander is favoured to become the next Doctor as Jodie Whittaker quits. As we already said, killing Eve. But as I said, she's going to be pretty busy. I don't see her being the Doctor. She's a good actress. She's better than Jodie Whittaker anyway. She's way better than Jodie Whittaker. But the thing about it is, she's about to, as I said, she's about to, a movie that she's done, Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, is about to drop soon. So I think with all of that promotion and stuff of that movie, because when it comes out, then she's going to be doing a lot of the interviews and stuff. I just don't see her being cast as the next Doctor. And then, as we spoke about earlier on, Rose Matafeo is also being named by the New Zealand Herald, and she's a New Zealander. So you really need to look. They will cast a British person anyway. But the fact that you have someone saying that a Kiwi is going to get the job, right, is ridiculous, right? Because, as I said, it's a British role. They've always cast a British person, right? They're not going to cast someone from New Zealand, because if that's the case, they could cast someone from Ireland, because there are plenty of good Irish actors and actresses, right? But even I wouldn't want that, because I believe that Doctor Who is a British role, right? You can't start, all of a sudden, thinking that that's going to shake up the show. It's not going to shake up the show, But again, you're going to have a conveyor belt of all of these names, right? And again, as I said, they're going to try and control the narrative. So guys, if I could ask you once again, and even for those that don't like me, put your personal feelings aside, please. I ask you, get behind this hashtag Sheen for 14. Let's send a message to the BBC. As I said, the media and certain accounts out there on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you are trying to control the narrative. Remember, Mr. TARDIS, on the day that Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall were gone, he put up a video that he done of me, right? And he said, don't let the Not My Doctors control the narrative, right? Now, he always says what they do. He is trying, like others, are trying to control the narrative. Sure, he had that journalist, Darren Mooney, who was part of Escapist magazine on his channel. Now, remember, that's the very same magazine. His boss went after my channel, accused me of plagiarizing, and I won that appeal, right? But it's very funny that he turned up on his channel, isn't it? Right? So they're trying to control the narrative. And again, he threw out a woman as well who he'd like to see play the Doctor. As I said, all of these YouTubers, right? All of the media that are out there that have been supporting this era are trying to control the narrative. Now, I don't care whether you think this show is dead or not, right? I'm asking you to get behind this, because you never know. We might succeed. We might get BBC to recognise that, hang on, okay, it's not just them. We have to listen to the other. We have to listen to these people too, and let's make the right decision for the show. So hashtag Sheen for 14, please. Sends a message to the BBC. And as I said, some of you will already have the email addresses from the last time that you all sent emails. I would suggest that you do. But I'll also say, please be pleasant in your emails. You know, we don't want any trouble. You know, because all we want to do is just inform them of our concerns. So, as I said, the day that was official, that they'd control the narrative, and that's exactly what they're doing. So it's up to you guys. If there are fans out there that do want to see Doctor Who continue, right? And as I said, put your personal feelings aside with BBC as well, because, you know, this argument that the BBC are incapable, they'll double down with Doctor Who. That's not necessarily the case. They can still produce shows and shows like Line of Duty, Peaky Blinders, and other shows like that, right? With Bodyguard as another example as well. So don't tell me that BBC can't create quality TV, because they can. It's just Doctor Who has been used as the dumping ground for all of their propaganda. But we've got to let them know and send them a message that that is not going to be tolerated anymore. This is an IP that you should be protecting and treating with respect for a change. So, you know, as I said, the next few weeks and months are very crucial. Fans on our side really need to start airing their concerns and start speaking up. And I know there'll be some out there, well, you shouldn't be telling fans what to do. The show is dead anyway. Well, if that's your opinion, that's fine, right? If you want to watch the show die, fair enough. I'd even actually question whether you are a fan in the first place, right? Because nobody in their right mind, right, if you're going to complain for that long and say how bad the Chris Chibnall era is, you can't tell me that you don't care, right? I'm sick of this crap as well. Oh, let it die. But you wouldn't be complaining for the last few years that you were complaining if you didn't care. People do care, right? They pretend that they don't care because they want to, you know, it's kind of mad. You know, we accuse the other side of being a hive mind, right? But our side is starting to become a bit of a hive mind, I've noticed. Actually turning out like the people that they said that they can't tolerate, you know? So, you know, just because some out there do believe that Doctor Who is dead doesn't necessarily mean that that's true, right? To me, with everything that's going on, with all the rumors and stuff and information that has been given to me and information that Eddie is putting out there, Doctor Who is not going anywhere. So technically, Doctor Who is not dead. Doctor Who is dead if they took it off TV, right? Now, I'm under no illusion that the new showrunner and whoever is the new Doctor is going to have an uphill battle to convince you fans that think the show is dead to come back. But it's time. Look, as I said, the best opportunity we're going to have our voices heard. So, look, I'll leave it to you. I know there's some out there that support this, and I thank you all. But to those out there that don't right now, I would plead with you to get behind it, please. Look, even if it gets us nowhere, right? It's at least we could say we could try. We tried. And look, I'll never ask anybody to do anything again. I'll be done. If it goes the other way, I'll be done. Don't worry. I'll never ask you to do anything again, because it would be too much. You know, BBC have let you down again. And be under no illusion, I haven't forgiven BBC and never will, right? But I'm willing to put me differences and my anger aside towards them to make sure that they make the right decisions that are necessary. And that's why I do believe we need to speak up a lot more. But I'll leave it to you guys. I'm going to head off. But as I said, remember, this is another clickbait article. You're going to get a lot more of them. You know, you're going to have all sorts of, you know, rumor and and people claiming that they know stuff. Right now, BBC's focus, will be on the upcoming series. Yes, they will be making plans behind the scenes to get ready to do what they have to do. But there are loads of people out there that are claiming that the new doctor and the new showrunner have already been picked. Now, I'm getting no indication of that from my sources. I think Eddie is not getting any indication of that. This is coming from Reddit and other places, and then newspapers pick up on it. As far as I'm aware, nothing has been decided yet. If that changes, I hope to let you know. But right now, you're going to get this over the next few months. The rumor mill is going to be really, really full steam ahead. But remember, as I said, those people out there are trying to control it. All of these that like Martin Bellum, who does be on Twitter and has had a go at a few fans that haven't liked this. Remember, these people have also, had a go at fans. So, they're trying to control the narrative, and we can't let them do that anymore, And if the Radio Times poll, and I know it's just one poll, but it's a poll that the Jodie Whittaker fans couldn't rig, right? And then Radio Times decided to shut it down. Very telling, I have to say. And I would implore all the other media outlets out there, why don't you put up polls and actually put your money where your mouth and let fans actually vote? But make sure that when you set up the poll that fans can only vote once. Because we get a lot of rigging in polls over the last few years, especially during this era. Imagine Jodie Whittaker, winning a poll saying that she's the best doctor out of all of them. Oh, sorry, it already happened, and David Tennant came second. Like, you know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. Carry on. So it's funny that they let those polls go on, but when an important poll like that happens, they decide to stop the votes from coming in. They close the poll. Right, well, I'm going to leave it there. As I said in the last video, I am feeling a little bit better. It's just the whole situation over the last few months, especially anyway, especially this year, because I've had to put up with and tolerate a lot of crap with magazines and stuff. It just all took its toll on me. And yeah, I got very upset. But I just want you to know, though, I'm not going anywhere. The way people are talking, they think I'm disappeared, and I'm not going anywhere. I just need a bit of a break from live streams for now. But I will be putting up content almost every day. You aren't going to miss out, and I will have a few surprises along the way. I'll obviously bring on guests for a couple of the pre-records. Like, I'm not, you aren't just going to be listening to me. So I'll still have panels and stuff, right? You just won't be live. There'll be pre-records for now. Right now, I said for a couple of weeks, but that could change, right? We'll see how it goes. I'll see how I feel. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be ashamed to say it, but my mental health has taken a bit of a battering over this last year, and I'm pretty strong, right? But a couple of things over the past couple of weeks have set me over the edge. There were warning signs there, because Lee was asking me if everything was all right. And I was telling them that they were, but it wasn't really all right. But look, I got everything off my chest. I did feel crappy afterwards for a good while, but I felt a little bit better yesterday coming towards the end of the night, and I feel all right today. But as I said, I'm not going anywhere, so I don't want people thinking that I'm not coming back and we're not going to be doing live streams again. We will be. It's just I need to take a break from them and just do stuff like this and maybe bring on a few people, pre-records, and just have a bit of fun. And, you know, but as I said, in the meantime, though, if anything huge does break, then obviously I will go live if there's anything got to do with Doctor Who or anything like that. I'm obviously not going to do a pre-record for that. That'd be stupid. I will come back and do a live stream then, but I don't think anything's going to happen in the next few weeks anyway. But I will keep you informed if anything does come up. Obviously, if there's any more, I'll keep you informed on all of these clickbait articles again. But again, another clickbait, as I said. But I will be going nowhere. So I just want to thank everybody for the lovely messages, private messages as well, public messages. It's meant a lot. Thank you. And don't worry, I'm all good. I'm all good. It's just sometimes you just, you know, you need to take a step back and take a bit of a break from live streaming, because live streaming, it's already stressful enough because you're worried about, well, what if someone says the wrong thing, you know, because it can affect the channel as well. What if I say the wrong thing, you know? So even then, it's already stressful. And then it doesn't help them when we get some of the crap that we get when I do live stream. So yeah, it's all taking its toll. And it's funny because, you know, it's all because, you know, as I said, because I have a different opinion on things, and that's the world we live in right now. But there you go. Right. I am going to leave it there, but as I said, you know, there's going to be a lot of these articles around. It's unbelievable. I will put the whole article in the link description, as I always do. But again, as I said, like the first paragraph is about Jodie Comer, then it goes into about Jodie Whittaker leaving. That's it. And then the end of the article literally says a little bit about Jodie Comer right at the end. And that's it. It's another clickbait article. You know, now I'm not going to dismiss bookies and say bookies don't get it right. Sometimes they do, but I don't see her getting the role, for the simple fact is, as I said, a movie that she's starring in is about to drop worldwide, or if it hasn't already dropped in some countries, I don't know. But our star is on the rise, and you know, look, there could be still a chance that she'll get it. She might accept it. But if I were her, you know, she's doing this movie Free Guy. Why would you take the Doctor Who role in the state that it's being left in? It could be, you know, career suicide. You give this role to someone, as I said, like Michael Sheen, who's been working for the BBC, or Richard Ayoade, or Tom Ellis, you know. Because as I said, I don't think the BBC can afford to go with another woman doctor. But look, as I said, these people are controlling the narrative, so you never know. You never know. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Have a good evening. I'll talk to you all soon. And as I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just taking a break from live streams for a while, but I will be doing a lot of pre-records. I will have guests, so you won't be missing out on that. And we will be discussing stuff that's happening, but it'll just be pre-recorded. That's the only difference. So I hope that you join us for them. We really appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because when we do come back for the live streams, sometimes they get very heated as well. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like this video. And as I said, that link to that article will be in the link description. Bye, folks. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. And I shall talk to you really, really soon. Bye-bye.